Hey folks, Duncan here from the Atavism Discord server and Digitally Reincarnated Technologies. Today we're going to make a tutorial on how to set up your weapons properly, creating the proper prefab for Atavism, how to put it into a character's hand, lining it up, rotation, scale, positioning, the equipment display file, and then how to put it into the editor. So this is a community-made tutorial. This is not an official tutorial. You should also check out the UMA weapons tutorial. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go to choose the weapon we're going to do. I'm going to grab one from the modular fantasy pack, and we're going to choose staff because they're rather big, makes it easy to see. So in the hierarchy, we're going to hit create empty. We're going to want to name it the exact same thing as the actual weapon itself. And then we're going to drag the weapon into it. And do it. My bad there. Okay. So these should all be set to 0. And to start, these should also be set to 0. Okay. So we have the weapon there. We're all good. So I can't remember if this is default having a models folder in resources content. I like to keep things all nice and set up. That was one of my other demo tests. And we're going to drag it in there. This is the one we're going to use. The reason we separate it is so that you're not editing the original in case you need it to make something else. Okay, deleting it from the hierarchy. Now what we are going to do is we're going to go into play mode. And we are going to go to the character creation screen. Alright, so I have my animation controller set up that his idle is actually a combat idle. I do this specifically because when I set up weapons, I don't want to do it while he's in plain idle mode with his hands down at his side. It makes it a lot more difficult to do. So we don't need to log in for this. We're actually going to go into scene. I'm going to expand this, find the character and double click it so that we can move to it. For the sake of ease of use, I like to turn these off. You can click on each of them and hit Alt-Shift-A. And we're going to turn off mob, so it's not above his head. Alright, so we're going to open the root. We're going to find his right hand. This may be named differently from character to character. The Sinti ones are named pretty good. And we're going to drag the staff into his hand. Alright, as you can see, it's not there. It's just because the scale is wrong. So you're going to see here now we've got our main one we made and the child. Never change this stuff on the parent. In this case with the staff, it might be okay. But if you have something like a gun with multiple children, if you go and change one and not the above one, stuff like that, sometimes things break. So we're going to click on this, and we are going to set this to 100. There's our staff. We're going to hit pause. You may get a console error saying you've been disconnected from the server. If you do this for too long, that's fine, because we're not actually going to save anything while it's like this. And we're going to start setting up our rotation on it. Okay, we're going to check. It is just above the ground, which is fine. We are going to start to move things over. We want to get it in his hand. Excellent, like that. We can change the view. Make sure there isn't any funky holes in his hands. You can see a little one there, not a big deal. All right. Now, because we haven't been paused for that long, we can unpause it. We can see how it's moving in the scene mode. And it's looking all right. He's not beaming himself in the head with it or anything like that. So we can go in here. Now, if you are editing it like this, like say you didn't get it lined up right, if you click on the model itself, it's going to select the parent. That's where you don't want to edit it. Make sure it's highlighted in orange. If it's highlighted in orange, you're in the right place. We don't need to, in this case, edit anymore. We're going to click on the cog, go to copy component, and exit play mode. Next, we're going to open the prefab, click on the one we're supposed to be editing, and hit paste. Click on the main one, hit override, apply all. There is a way to do this without having to hit apply all. I just do it this way because that way, it's just the way my mind works. And we're done that. Next, we're going to go into equipment display. I'm just going to delete the other one I was playing with. And we are going to do the same thing here. So create empty. We want to name it the same thing we did before. We're going to set these to 0 because it's not needed. We're going to add equipment display. Now, just fair warning, this is going to look much different than yours. I'm experimenting with code for the add-on. So you're not going to have this top box where I switch it to weapon. And we're actually going to ignore all of this because that wouldn't be needed anyways. So you won't have gear type. We're doing an attached object. We are going to do the model name being the same. And we want to go into our models folder and drag this in. Material is not needed unless you want to use an alternate material. Maybe you want to make a red version or a purple version and you don't want to change the base model. You can drop it in there. For sockets, we're going to choose the main hand. For rest socket, you'd probably want to put that on the back, but for the sake of testing, I'm going to do main hand as well. If you're using my Cinti add-on, this allows you to change armor based off male or female, so you can have 2 different versions. This is for the skin mesh armor, and we're attempting to set up IK on a per weapon basis on that. But you can ignore all that, not needed, and the gear type you also won't have. That's part of my stuff down here. Okay, so we've got that done. We are going to drag this to the equipment display folder. Boom, done. And delete it from here. That's your weapon created. Let's go into Windows, Atavism Editor, Items, excuse delay. The server that I'm using is on the other side of the world. Shameless plug. Helix has a great VPS and dedicated server hosting stuff. So if you need a server, reach out to him. They'll help you set it up and everything. It's really good. All right, so we're going to make a new one. Let's call this the tutorial beat stick to staff. Select an icon. And now we need the equipment display file. Make sure you put the equipment display file in, not the model. If you put the model in, it's not going to work. There's the equipment display. Set up your weapons and everything like that, your tooltip if you want, added effects, etc. And we're going to hit save. Alright, next we're going to go to character and player character setup. And we're going to click this icon to edit the character because I've already got this set up. I'm not setting up a brand new character. And we're going to scroll down to the bottom. Starting items. Tutorial beat stick. I'm not going to set to equipping. I like to have them in the backpack. I often am testing out multiple weapons at once. And we're going to hit save. Okay, with that saved now, the next step is going to be to reboot the server. I'm going to pause the video while I reboot it, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look. Alright, server's all rebooted. Let's go take a look. Now, just one thing before I start. Depending on how the weapons were exported, sometimes scale 100 is not the right one for it. So just want to throw that out there before we log in case this one is like that. Might look like it's screwed up. Just depends weapon to weapon. Cinti packs, which is what I'm using in this case, the different ones are made by different people on the team. Some people export different scales, etc. So we'll take a look when we get in here at how this one turned out. Alright, let's take a look. So we're going to press H for that screen, I for that screen, and did it give me my weapon? Nope, I made this mistake last time I was making the same tutorial before I screwed it up. I did not make a new character, so he's not going to have the new character gear. I actually like when I make mistakes on my tutorial videos. It's a good way of seeing some of the stuff that can go wrong and how to fix it. Okay, let's delete this character. Let's make a new character. I don't have a female character set up yet properly. And we will enter. Props to anyone who can pronounce that name I just typed. Alright, press H, press I. Here's his item. Put it in his hand. It's not there. So, this is what I meant by sometimes the scales are different. If we go to the character, there's the character, cube he's in, and the staff. So definitely the scale was different on this set than the last one I was using. So we're going to exit out. You can go into the models, open it up, and we're going to set the spec to 1. Just the scale. Okay. We're going to hit apply, and because this doesn't touch the database, we do not need to reboot the server again. Let's hit play. And I believe what it's doing there is the parent is being multiplied from 1 to 100. So when we go and put the weapon in, it's now being scale 100 and then child scale 100. So you're actually at like scale 10,000. Let's take a look, see if that fixed it. And now because we changed the scale on it, it's also moved the weapon. My character is actually where these double T's are. So even though we scaled it properly when we first made it, now that we've put the character in, it's removed the scale. I need to go back into the login screen and go back into the scene and fix that. And we're actually going to log in just to make sure that it saves everything where we need it. We'll have it in there where it's completely misshaped, but the scale is proper. Again, this is one of the things that can happen. It isn't guaranteed to happen. I'm just going to move. You can see that as I run, the staff's going up and down. It's up there. So scene mode. Double click. There he is. So for some reason, it's way ahead. Mop, hips, spine, 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 clavicle right, shoulder right, elbow right, and we're going to open the hand this time because there's the weapon. So you can see here that it's actually modified a few different things. So 0, 0, 0, and 100. These are set to 1 by default. The game is multiplying them. Then we are going to go into here, and we got to figure out how to get it back to his hand. So let's start by going 0, and 0, and 0, and that's actually pretty close now. So we'll go back down, scroll down, and so it's close. So we're going to do the same thing, pause the game again, and we got to get it moved into his hand. So again, items highlighted orange. That's looking pretty good. So the only thing that we really changed here is the positioning's off a little bit, etc. So we're going to go copy again, exit it out, go back into the weapon, select the child, paste new settings in. Didn't have to hit apply because of the way that I opened it. And let's try it again. This works for the exact same way as shields if you're equipping them like weapons. There you go. Even right now, we don't even have to log in. We can see that you're all good to go there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was a community-made video. It's not an official video. If you're looking for more things like this, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll see what I can do. Thanks, guys.